Hello, welcome to the Barry Mackerel Show. I'm your host, Barry Mackerel, and this is my cohort, Paul Leonard.
All right, tonight,
We're appearing live tonight from Somerville. This is our first show, but we've been rehearsing for, it seems like, weeks on end, right, Paulie?
Yeah, it seems eternity.
Eternity, that's a good way to describe it. I think we're all set, though. I think we've got everything down, and the show's going to go off like clockwork.
I could have used about another 100 years.
Another 100 years of practice, and anyways, I guess I completely forget what we're supposed to do next, but that's the fun of live television, right? Let's see, I'm going to tell you who our guests are. I believe all of these people are actual residents of Somerville, which is exciting for the town. Our first guest is Cassiopeia Golden Hirsch. I have no idea who she is or what she's doing here. Paul, do you
Beautiful
know?
name. I don't know.
It's a nice
She better
name.
be good.
It's nice. We have C. Michael Chad Blazer and Binks Buffington. I believe these are a couple of rappers, actually, believe it or not.
They're a pair.
Their career is taking
go.
off, and they're lucky enough to be on the show tonight. We have Amy LeBeck and Consuelo, and I believe they're here to perform some kind of singing act or something like that.
That's not what I heard.
What are you talking about, Paulie? They're here. Amy LeBeck is a singer from Jamaica Plain, and I think she's here to sing a few blues.
Oh, I understand. There's a little bit of confusion there, but don't worry, it's all taken care of. We arranged the cooking demonstration in advance. And
Cooking demonstration. Okay, I guess whatever you say, Paulie. Is there anything else I'm forgetting that we're going to be doing on the show tonight?
I don't know, I'm looking forward to it. I'd say we're ready to go.
Okay.
As ready as we could ever be.
Okay, I think so. And I mean, after all, if the show doesn't go the way we planned, I go back to my rig Monday morning and you go back to your medical practice.
Well, let's hope not, because we all know the trouble that's been to myself and the community.
Right. I don't think that's something you want to say. We are on television, Paul.
No, I do talk about it in my book, though.
You have a book.
Right.
Okay. I think we'll get to that later, Paul. I think we're going to go to a
Well,
break
this segment
right
when I
now.
talk about my book comes up first, right?
Right, right. We'll get to the book later. Right now, we're going to go to a break. Am I right?
You are watching Dead Air Live, a production of the Somerville Producers Group, the longest-running public access program in the country.
Tonight we've actually gone out and captured from his home in Lexington Noam Chomsky, and we're holding him hostage until he recants everything that he's said over the past 30 years. I'm Barry Crimmins, and it's a pleasure to be here.
Do you want the Timex watch that's got the built-in compass? Or do you want the Swatch wound by love?
For lunch, do you want food with sugar and salt in it, or do you want food with just salt in it? Do you want to be wired, or do you want to be in a coma?
Do you want a low-paying job, or do you want to work at Burger King?
Do you want the orange-flavored Tylenol PM, the cherry-flavored Tylenol PM, or a year's supply of Prozac?
So I don't think that it's very fair to say that this is the tobacco industry's position. This is my position.
The tobacco industry is interested in only one thing, and that's profits. They don't care anything about
That
kids.
doesn't mean that that is the only reason people are involved in this. I'm very
That's right. This
concerned
is
with
sort of
what Barry
irrelevant to the
Bartzel
question. It is sort of irrelevant to this particular question.
The tobacco.
We're back with the Pagan Show, and we have Gail with us, a veteran of the cable show scene. And I'm glad you could make it today, Gail, since I forgot to tell you what night to come.
It was a shock, but being such a media star, I just,
You can watch Dead Air Live every Tuesday evening at 8 p.m. right here on Somerville Community Access Television, Cable Channel 3.
Okay, welcome back. We have our first. Oh, I want to remind those folks at home and the people in the audience that this is interactive television, and of course, we want to encourage participation from the audience. That includes questions, comments, and of course, applause. And for those of you at home, you're welcome to call in as well. I don't know what the phone number is. Paul, do we have a phone number for people to call in?
There's no phone. There's no phone call in here.
Of course, this is interactive television, Paul. We've been planning this for weeks, and there must be a way for people to call in.
Well, you're welcome to come down to the station if you like.
Okay, we'll get an address, and we'll welcome anybody who wants to come down. In the meantime, we do have our first guest. I want to welcome Cassiopeia Golden Hirsch. Cassie,
Hi.
welcome.
Thank
You have quite a following here in Somerville, I see.
Yes.
As I was telling Paul, I don't know exactly who you are or what you're doing here, but I guess you can tell us.
Yes. You see, myself and some other people in Somerville, we have this like group of people, and we had this idea. Actually, it's like more like a concept. We had this concept, and what we're going to do, what we want to do is we want to like put this biosphere, like this dome over the city of Somerville, and it'll be like Somerville, city of tomorrow. Right. Although some people are like Somerville City of Future. It's like another faction, another camp. But you know, we're mainly Somerville City of Tomorrow, and it'll be like this. It's like this. Like if this is Somerville, right, and then this is Somerville City of Tomorrow.
Right.
Right.
Can we do that again? Can we see Somerville, City of Yesterday.
Yesterday, Somerville City of Tomorrow.
City of Tomorrow.
Good. So it's a big wooden
No.
sphere.
It's very high tech. You see, we're going to base it on the O'Neill colonies, right? So we have all sort of the designs and the plans from the O'Neill colonies. We'll use that.
Okay.
Yeah.
And this is intended to sort of keep all people out of Somerville?
No. It's great. This special place inside. You see, you know what the O'Neill colonies are? No. See, like Gerard K. O'Neill.
Right.
I've heard of
the High Frontier. Right. He wrote this book, and it's all about how you it's all about how you build these like space stations in the sky, and he called it the High Frontier. And we're going to do the same thing in Somerville, except theirs is like up there, the High Frontier. Ours is down. So ours is like the Low Frontier.
Okay.
You know, Somerville see the future, the Low Frontier, and so what we're going to do is that inside the dome, everybody's going to be like connected to the net, you know, the computer net, and they're all on these headsets, and they'll all be able to communicate with each other, like through the computer, and we'll be able to communicate with each other through the computer on these headsets. Right? Do you get it?
It's beautiful.
It sounds wonderful. I think maybe anything would be an improvement over the wooden ball theory. I guess in practice.
Just demonstration purposes.
Yeah, I think it's really important too, because communicating directly one-to-one is so inconvenient nowadays.
Oh,
the headsets are going to be a real
headsets,
improvement.
because just to talk, it's, you know, anyone can talk, but only we can communicate through the headsets.
The headsets, of course.
You know, to each other.
I'm not sure I am quite grasping the concept. Maybe maybe someone from the audience could come up here and explain exactly what she's talking about, or.
Well, can I give you another example?
Sure.
Let me give you another example.
I'd like to see one of the headsets.
Well,
is it possible? Can we get a headset out here?
We don't have the headsets yet. It's in the future, in the city of the future, not today.
Yeah. Well,
but let me
of
tell you,
course.
this other thing that we're going to have is like we're going to take like the Davis Square Theater and we're going to make it a virtual reality theater. But like you don't really need the screen anymore because, yeah, they like that. They like that idea. And everyone will be in like their own seat and you'll have your own headset, right? and you'll have these like hand things, these sort of smelly, touchy-feely things. So you can watch this film and it's like you're in the film, you know? So like, for example, say you have like this thing like you're bicycling, and so you can have virtual reality bicycling, and you can be in it, and it feels just like you're bicycling through Boston, right? But you're in the theater.
And why not just ride a bike?
Well, because then you gotta, you know, ride the bike. You know, here you can just sit in a chair and
sit in a chair, and
it
it'd
feels
be like riding a bike.
Right. Now,
well, the audience is liking this idea.
Well,
it obviously has some merit, but then again, I can see who's in the audience, Paul, and it doesn't surprise me that they're having this kind of enthusiastic reaction.
It doesn't look like a big biking crowd out there.
Oh, can I just say something
Sure.
though, about the idea? The thing is like this is our idea. This group of people, our concept. Although, all right, I have to say it wasn't entirely first idea because it really came from this like unbroadcasted episode of Star Trek that Gene Roddenberry wrote. Because did you know Gene Roddenberry went to summer camp in Somerville? Did you know that?
No kidding.
Yeah, and then he wrote this episode about like covering Somerville, but like it wasn't broadcast, so only a few people know. But we took this idea and we developed it into this. And the thing is, if anyone else wants to use this idea, right, it's our idea, so they got to write us for permission. So like, if they want to do like Medford, City of the Future, you know, or like Stoneham, the City of Tomorrow, they should write us first.
Right.
So you've got kind of the patent. for
Yes.
City of the Future.
We have these lawyers working on it.
Good deal.
Okay. It does seem like there are some heavy legal implications to whatever it is you're talking about, cornucopia.
Yeah, but we have so many people who are like experts. You know, we have all these computer people. They're all like tied in to the net, and actually they've been tapping into. Well, I probably shouldn't be talking about that, but you know, they've been tapping. You know, so they have all this information. But we could use. The reason I came here is that we can use more people in our group. And actually, the kind of people we need, because we have a lot of computer people, right? You know, but we could use people who are maybe like, we're going to be all under this dome. We could use people who are good with plants, because most of us aren't very good with plants, you know, or maybe some people are good with animals, because
I think that maybe
we're not really
plants
good
would
with
benefit
animals.
from this kind of an arrangement here. I'm not sure, though, how this is going to work.
You want to get some light in there, for one thing. That I know.
You understand, of course, that the biosphere for Somerville will be like this high-tech, like polyurethane, plastic stuff, and you'll be able to see through it. This is just a demonstration.
Cassie, I don't want to cut you off, but thankfully we're getting very close to having to take a break here. So maybe if you could maybe wrap up the explanation and tell us how people can get involved in this process or project, and why they might want to be involved in.
Okay, well,
Such a thing.
if you have any vision at all, you would know this is the way the world is going. We're heading this direction. So you can like contact us and through the city council and petition for this. And we need people who are good with plants and animals, because we have some computer people, but not the plant and animal people.
Right, of course. Well, Cornucopia, I want to thank you very much. Cassiopeia, I want to thank you for being here.
Thank you.
We all look forward to seeing the Somerville of tomorrow, and we're going to go to a tape here, I think.
Permit me to introduce myself. My name is C. Michael Chad Blazer, Princeton class of 1973.
You'll forgive me if I don't get up. Binks Buffington here, Harvard, 62. Knee's gone out again.
Yes, indeed.
I understand you two are famous rap stars.
Yes, we are. Yes, we are. For Chad here, it's been a godsend. Gets him out of his houses. You know, before that, he'd be hanging around the club all the time, lollygaggling around, endless diatribe, conversations about stock options, liquidities.
Binks, you do go on Lord.
About you that way.
And you know, all this talk of liquidity has got me thinking that it might be time for another smart cocktail.
Well, don't you know the sun is over the yardarm?
The sun is over the armpit. Perhaps you'd care to join us. We're trying something a little exotic today that my cook Jose exposed us to, as it were. It's called a marguerita. It's from down sunny Mexico way. Yes, indeed.
Thank you, Chad. Oh, I dare say, Chad, we won't be getting any of that Montezuma's revenge from this, will we? I understand you've had Jose Boyle.
May I?
Oh, no, thanks. I'm working.
Working. What a quaint idea.
Indeed.
Okay, we're back. This is the Barry Mackerel Show, still. And I just want to throw out sort of a disclaimer here for that last guest. Paula, I think she was your guest, right? You had invited her? I just want to get a few things straight here.
Yeah, I feel very, very proud of that.
Okay. Well, we're being joined by our next guest now, C. Michael Chad Blazer and Binks Buffington. And I have to say, I thought I was white until I met these guys, and now I'm starting to think.
Well, it's a pleasure to be around
a
fellow.
Bill, it's very nice to be here, Bill. Thank you.
Very nice to meet you. It's Barry.
C. Michael Chad Blazer, Princeton class of 73. It's so nice to be around Anglo-Saxon people. Thank you. And in fact, as a little tribute to your decent heritage, we've brought you a little present, a little something, a little promotion of our rap
I think I'll have
single. Oh, do open it up. It's a white bread sandwich. It's white bread on white bread. Oh, please, please.
Thank you, thank you. I
Open
think
it
I'll
up.
just,
Open
of
it
course
up.
I'll open this. I'm deeply touched. There seems to be some kind
There's
of a
letter
note
there
in here
from our
too.
producer, yes, a tacky man named Rod King. And a white bread sandwich for you, Berold.
What, no Twinkies? This looks wonderful. I think I'll just have Paul, my taster, here take care of this.
Okay,
and there
Berold.
is...
Right after I read the letter.
And our single is reasonably priced and available in record stores throughout the Boston
can we get a
metropolitan
shot of
area.
that?
I think In Your Ear and Newbury Comics are both stocking this, yes. We're thinking about buying them.
Right.
Yes.
Oh, I see. Well, now you two, I don't mean to interrupt you there, Biff. We only have a few minutes here. If you could, Binks, if you could pay attention, that would be helpful.
Oh, I'm listening. I'm always
Anyway,
listening.
so I understand that you guys are rap fans.
Oh, good call.
Oh, God, no. We make rap music, but we don't like it.
I'll tell you what music is. I'll tell you if you're listening.
Speak on, Lord Binks.
Music is the sound of the wind blowing through the halyards of a fine racing yacht.
Well
That's what
Lord
music
Binks.
That's what
poetry.
music is.
That's poetry.
That was poetry.
The way you
That
speak
was
is
poetry.
Lord
Nice.
Binks.
So it looks like,
Very white of you.
Paul, it looks like we're on the verge of another communication difficulty here, but we'll get through this, I think, as
No, I
best we
think
can.
we can break through with these guys, find out what they're all about. How did you get started?
Well, that's an interesting, funny little story.
is,
Do
it is.
tell that.
Let me tell that
funny
one.
little story, Lord Binks.
You know, I was out on the links with a foursome. I won't bore you with who they were, of course. But we were there on I think on the third or fourth green, and my caddy was playing the most atrocious music
It
on
wasn't
his
music,
headset.
it was noise.
Well, whatever it was. I said, young man, I said, take that god-awful noise off, or I'm not going to pay you $1 for carrying my clubs. Well, he says, Mr. Binks, this is the music of the generation. Mr. Binks, this is what everyone is listening to. This is where the money is.
Well, of course, when we heard that that was where the money is, we did a full-scale investigation, found out that he was absolutely correct, and jumped into it with both feet forward.
You know, I'm sorry, Bud, that's not gin.
Barry, yeah.
Yeah, we had to take Chad off the gin. He was getting hallucinations.
Doctor's orders, no gin for 3 months.
Right, he was hallucinating, so we have them.
Well, you both seem to be doing remarkably well today.
Thank you, thank you.
I can tell you made it in here on your own.
Yes.
And I understand now that you'll be donating part of your, the proceeds of your tape to charity.
Excuse me. I'm not quite sure I understand that question.
Young man,
that question?
we may be people of means, but that does not mean that we can afford charity. Not now that you tax and spend liberal types have got us literally paying through the nose.
I'll tell you something. I can live with the spend part. I've done very well with the spend part. But this tax business is an irritant. I tell you, it's an irritant.
Now, a little bit about your backgrounds. You obviously are two very well-to-do and successful gentlemen, if you don't mind my saying so. How did you earn your success? Did you work for it?
Oh, goodness, no. No. Oh, no, goodness. We inherited our money.
Oh, I'll tell you a little story if you're listening. Great-great-grandfather Buffington.
A great American.
A great American, by the way. That's right. Yes, patriot, by the way. He invested very wisely. And, of course, he had many interests. Stocks, bonds, mining interests. Then the government comes along with its damned regulations and totally ruined the asbestos industry. Totally ruined it.
Child labor laws.
Think about it. Environmental stuff.
It's gotten to this point in this country where a person can't even do business.
You can't.
You can't even
It's
make
impossible.
things
You
anymore.
can't. You've got to go down. You've got to go down to sunny Mexico or something to get.
And you know what really gets my goat barreled?
I'll tell you right
really
now.
gets my goat is why is it that for so long people like us, people of means who have been pulling the wagon, have been pulling and pulling, and now we're asked to sacrifice again, and I say, hoo-ha to that. It's time to let those sluggards who sit around all day long, they don't want to work, just sitting around all day, watching Oprah Winfrey and eating free government cheese, let them sacrifice. By God, there was no free government cheese waiting for our forefathers when they stepped off the Mayflower, and was there.
Yeah.
There was no government cheese, there was no welfare, there was no reverse discrimination quota bills. None of that stuff.
Let me ask you guys, let's get back to the tape. How's the single doing?
Oh,
I think everybody here wants to know.
It's been delightfully profitable. We are extremely delighted with the profit margin. Although, you know, Lord Banks, I have noticed that in our set, it's not going over quite as well as we might have hoped. Our sort of people find it a bit ethnic. I think you know what I mean, a bit ethnic.
That's interesting.
Yes.
How are you finding being in the music business? Is it something that you both enjoy working at?
Oh, God. We don't perform. Oh, good God.
We have people perform for us. We're far too busy.
That's right.
And, you know, it's interesting you should bring up that question, because I have found that the people in the music industry are extremely odd. They're an odd bunch.
Yeah. I'll tell you something.
If you know what I mean.
Yeah, I'll tell you something. I want to tell you a little anecdote, and I hope you're listening, about a great American, Ollie North.
A patriot,
a patriot, a true American. Ollie North recorded that he had to speak with a lisp in order to get through to the White House. Now I ask you, what is this country coming to?
This is
what is this country
extremely
coming
disturbing. I think
I'll
Paul and
tell
I
you.
agree with you there. However, I think that you brought a tape. You boys have brought a tape with you, and I think we'd like to take a look at that. And I think the audience would look forward to that as well.
You say the people are starving? Well, then let them eat white bread.
I don't like to dance, I don't do the jerk. What I do best is go to work, cause I'm white bread. I don't get down. I live in the suburbs. I hate downtown. I don't do drugs. We just say no today, but each night I drink a quart of Tanqueray, cause I'm white bread, vanilla galore. When I see colors, I lock my door. More ice. But I'm no racist, I don't have to be, cause total insulation is provided for me. Whenever dark folk come near my town, police pick them up and put them down. I'm white bread. I may look blank, but you'll do what I say when you're in my bank. Christ, Fairfield, Simi Valley, Ferndale, Mainline, Gold Coast, Kennebunk, Scarsdale, Barrington, Greenwich, and Wellesley Hills. 2-acre zoning hides the nation's ills. I'm white bread, the man that you dread. While you're getting it on, I'm getting ahead. White bread, pumpernickel, Syrian, and rye. When I see you on the street, I don't look you in the eye. Police brutality is Greek to me. The only cops I know are on TV. I'm white bread, that's what I be, and the whole wide world wants to live like me. You want my house, the debt's as high dry as can be, and my fast-track job, it's slavery. My cute blonde wife is frigidity. I've got it all, but I'm still not free. I'm white bread, that's what I be. So why does everybody want to be like me? I don't like to dance, I don't do the jerk. What I do best is go to work, cause I'm white bread. I don't get down, I live in a suburb, I hate downtown. I don't do drugs, we just say no today. But each night I drink a quart of Tanqueray, cause I'm white bread. Vanilla galore, when I see colors I lock my doors.
Later. More on.
But I'm no racist, I don't have to be, cause total insulation is provided for me. Whenever dark folk come near my town, police pick them up and put them down. I'm white bread, that's what I be. I've got it all, but I'm still not free. I'm white bread, that's what I be. So why does everybody want to live like me?
Could you turn that down? Excuse me, but I asked you to turn that down. Could you turn it down, please? I asked you, turn it down!
Well, we're back, enjoying the continued pleasure of being joined by White Bread,
Sure. I like that
Chad
idea.
and Binks, who I believe
You
are
know,
pouring
and
through
if
the box scores or the
options, that's right.
stock market
Oh, excuse me.
charts for today.
Are we back?
Yes,
Yes.
and I think the audience enjoyed that a great deal.
Well, thank you so much. Thank you so much. You know, Beryl, we'll do just about anything to get our moral and ethical traditional
correct. That's
family
right.
value
That's right.
message
That's
out
right.
to the hoodlums of today, even if we have to use rap music to do it.
Let's see,
It's
and
a
it
bold,
seems
bold
that,
plan. It's a bold concept.
it seems that you're being very effective in getting your message across.
Thank you, Beryl.
How is this message of yours being greeted by your colleagues in the rap industry?
Well, I'm not so sure that we have colleagues in the music industry. You
We'd
think so,
rather
Chad?
not
Yeah,
have
we're kind of
colleagues in the
lone
rap
wolves. We're kind of out there on our own.
We are the only
I think we're
Republican
That's right.
rappers.
That's right.
We
We
are
are. That's right. Yeah, we
really
are
the only
unique.
rappers of
Yeah.
good breeding.
That's right. That's right.
I see.
We've got a letter from, who is
From
this
our
guy?
producer, Rod King, a
That's our-
tacky man,
yes.
but extremely effective.
Rod
Tacky
King.
man.
Although
Rod King Productions. Yes, that's right.
Well, I shouldn't
Brilliant
probably
man.
say this
Yeah.
on the air, but we are a little disappointed in the low quality of this show. Oh, never mind about that.
Yeah, well, you're not alone in feeling that way.
Why don't you just go ahead and read that?
Paul and I would be
I would be happy to,
renegotiating.
but I'd like to dispense with journalistic impartiality for just a moment. I think you two are two of the biggest, most bombastic and overbearing and disgusting slobs I've ever had the displeasure to meet.
I prefer the term men of
leisure.
leisure.
Men of leisure, that's
I
right.
found the video offensive. You two guys are, well, just disgusting. And
Good.
I didn't know they were
Paul,
going
I
to be
think
on.
this is getting a little out of.
I wish someone had told me they
out
were
of
going to be
hand
on.
here.
To be seen on the same sofa
You know,
with these two clods, these plaid, panted, bulging, pompous, bombastic, and
I think, Paul,
they're overdone. They're wooden,
Leonard.
and I just wish someone had told me they would have been on. I would have come equipped with my pooper scooper and followed right behind him all the way.
Perhaps you would have come equipped with a little bit of logic, a little bit of sense.
Leonard, let me say that we thrive on controversy.
We do. Oh, we do. We
give me a man who controversy.
Give me a man.
This great nation was born of controversy. Was it not? And I say,
I think
here's
if I could interrupt here for a second.
Lyndon LaRouche, a man of controversy.
Gentlemen,
you know,
gentlemen,
at Hodgkiss.
Gentlemen.
Let's take it outside later, Chad, baby.
At Hodgkiss.
I've just been handed
forensic expert.
Chat amongst yourselves.
You two guys fit a profile.
I've just been handed a question here from our producer.
Sorry, Ben, I'm a little worked up.
Yeah, I know, Paul.
I just had to get this out. They look just like a couple of gout sufferers to me, and they fit that profile.
That's interesting. You should say that because Biggs here is suffering for a little problem in the knee.
Well, the knee, yes, that's right.
Injury, and actually his doctor is thinking it might be gout, which is why I'm off the gin and he's off the vermouth.
That's
interesting.
Right.
Interesting. You should pick
Well,
that
I
up.
think maybe this is something we didn't know, and maybe this might change your feelings a little bit about them.
All right.
Anyways, we do have a question here.
I'm open-minded.
Okay. Do you know where I can learn to speak Klingon?
Is that a question for us?
I'm not sure. I think this.
Well, I think we should get Cassiopeia out here right now.
Oh, that's right. That would be.
Apparently, there's a question for Cassiopeia. We didn't know that there'd be such interest. This must have been a call-in or a visit to the studio, I guess. I see the audience is looking a little confused by all this. Cassie, did you want to come up and?
Yes, Barry. Barry.
Yeah.
What?
How can this person learn to speak Klingon?
Well, you know, it takes a lot of years to study. So if they think it's something they can just sort of pick up, they're mistaken. But there are books available and dictionaries, and you can contact the club at MIT. They would know. Okay. Thank you very much.
Okay. This is truly a multicultural show. Anyways, we were I think Paul was just exchanging a few ideas with you fellas.
I don't have the stomach to read that.
Let's see.
Maybe you would.
Let me read the letter.
Yeah, please do.
I think it's nice that
we'll
they
give
came
a
all this
perspective.
way.
It'll give a
from,
perspective on things.
I think it's nice that they came all the way from the suburbs.
There will
to
be
with
harsh
us
words
and,
with our advanced man, you can be sure.
Okay, I'm going to read the letter in that case. It,
Thanks,
of
Barry.
course, says, "Congratulations, Mr. Mackerel. You are a great, great American who's not afraid to stand up for traditional values." That is why leading conservatives have asked us to send the enclosed tape to you. The members of White Bread, America's leading Republican rap band, which you have made abundantly clear, use the vile and primitive sounds of rap, a type of music, in quotes, they utterly abhor, to bring their moral message to modern youth. I'd say that's, you might want to try Klingon and see how that works.
There's still a chance to reach the youth of America.
We've got
you guys
there's still a
MBA
chance.
actually studying using our moral message
That's right.
and expressing it through Klingon. That's interesting. You should bring that up. Yes. We think we can turn a tidy profit that way.
Let's see.
That's right.
Paul, did you have any other questions or incendiary comments you wanted to make with our
Yeah,
guests
I did, as a matter of
today?
fact, Barry.
Don't you have a
how I
holiday
wanna
coming
leave
up,
them.
young man?
Yeah, and
Don't
I
you
know where
people
I'm
have
spending it too.
What's it
I
called?
just want to say,
Hanukkah or something?
as far as you guys and your
what's that
tape are
holiday that
concerned,
they have
something, I don't
coming up?
know.
Well, you power to the pumpernickel,
or something.
and
Right.
that's all I have to say. For
What's
white
that
bread, put it in
holiday?
a little brown
What's that
bag.
You'll
holiday?
have something coming up, but you'll have candles lit.
Yarmulke,
Yeah,
you eat
something
the,
like
you eat that smelly
Right.
fish
Right,
with the
yeah.
onions.
I take my
Yeah,
dog out
that's
to the
right.
golf
Yeah.
course and
You know, you
do his
people
business
control
out there
the
whenever I
international
can.
They
media.
control
And
it.
I've
gonna
got
be a
to say,
great
you do a
vacation.
I think it
fine
might be
job.
time for another question from the
Oh,
audience.
fine
I can tell there's a little bit of
I love what you've
anxiousness
done with
and
international
excitedness out in the
bowling
audience.
people.
Did somebody
Really
have another
wonderful,
question?
Wonderful. Didn't your father own a pawn shop?
State your
or
name,
something?
please, and where you're from.
Tushkia. I'm from Austin, and I'm here because I thought we were gonna hear a little bit about Mr. Paul's book. That's what I'm here for, and I'd really like get that taken care of.
Intellectual from your tirade.
Well,
I would have thought you to be some kind of
Paul. You know,
rabble-rouser.
You have
we're going to try to slip you into the Cindy Crawford
a very brilliant person.
The next chapter is going to be on YouTube, fellas. But I could mention right now.
I'd be honored.
I have got a
honored
book.
to be put in that.
Give our people a call, and you can
yes.
come by the club. We'll make
have
a
your gal,
because I'm looking
have
for
your
a title.
gal call my gal at
you
the
guys are helping me
office.
come up with my title right now.
Well, I couldn't help but notice the resemblance of your book
You'll
and
love
the
that. You could come over to the tape.
It's kind
Just
of
tell them that we
Leonard will let you in.
Leonard, you can come right in.
It's a subtle comment.
I have a feeling you're thinking about maybe changing the color of the cover.
I hope that answers your question from the audience, Ms. Kia. The book is available for free, and
oh God,
you know, I'd like everyone to know I'm turning no profit from it. It is fully printed in black and white, and we'll have a title soon.
Thank you.
Okay. That's good to know. I think we're enriching the town of Somerville every second that we remain on the air at this point, and I'm thinking that maybe we should do what we can to extend the show to 2 hours tonight. Anyways, back to you fellas over here in the plaid.
Binks does a wonderful imitation of George Bush's son Neil while they were prepping together.
Oh God, we were together.
Maybe that would be a fun way to extend the show just a bit.
Yeah, I would do that.
Did you know he used to put on? I won't tell.
Well, don't tell.
Are you going to commit live fraud right here or something, or live bank fraud?
Well, no, that's a whole other issue, and I'm not going to get into that.
Gracious.
Good God, no.
A man comes along.
A man comes along, a little starch under his collar, a little get up and go.
Patriot.
Proud to wear the flag.
You knee-jerk liberal, tax and spend type, knock him down, because you're afraid of a man with a little backbone.
We're getting a little off the topic here of your music.
Threaten you.
You know, if you had a little sensitivity, you could sympathize with us after that dark day in November.
Oh God, we call it Dark Black Tuesday.
You know, we had some of our
interesting
people,
choice
we had
of
some
words.
of our friends go up to Kennebunk to drape the town in black crepe.
Okay, well this
My
is,
friend
I have a feeling we're heading into a very sad tale here. We want to keep things on an upbeat
Chad's
note.
wife
I think we
made him
have to go
socks
to a break.
for his golf clubs in black. Oh, very, very sad day. A dark time. A dark time.
Once upon a time, there was a band called Urbana.
Just getting a little reaction here from the crowd to Urbana's gig that they just finished. What'd you think of it, sir?
It was excellent. We live around the corner. We heard it from where we live, and we came over here, and it was just unbelievable.
So you came all the way from around the corner today to see Urbana perform.
They worked and worked to promote their music.
Perhaps if we tried this mixer microphone angle, we could get some progress. You know, it reaches one car at a time.
It could take forever to get charted that way.
But it's a tough road to the top.
Just want to ask a question about that little thing that you do. What the little thing that you like to do on stage?
Nice try.
Get up on it.
The masturbation sequence? Even so, their future was bright.
I see great riches for you if you do the right thing. You should get a wireless cable franchise.
Be sure to watch Urbana Knows Best, Wednesdays at 8 through May 26th, right here on Somerville TV, Channel 3.
Believe it or not, we're back. We're still on the air. Apparently we have managed to slip all of this by the FCC, and things are proceeding as planned. Paul, I think we're doing a pretty good job. What do you think?
I don't think things are going well at all, Barry.
Well, Paul, aside from your little outburst, I think we had a very nice chat with our previous guests.
I'm very
guys
upset.
were something else.
Weren't they?
They were off the wall.
I'm very upset. We're behind schedule, and you know, if we don't get moving along here,
okay,
I'm not coming back.
Okay, well,
You
maybe
were right. You were right, Paul.
Paul, maybe you'd like to introduce our next guests.
Oh, I'd be honored to. I'm not sure who they are. I recognize this young woman, I think.
Hi.
Was it a nightclub act? Or?
Would you like to tell them?
This is Consuela, Paul, and this is Amy Lebec, the world-famous,
This is Amy and
renowned
Consuela.
singer from Jamaica Plain.
That's right.
Well, I wouldn't say world famous. Jamaica Plain, definitely.
Okay, well, it's very
But she
nice
could be
to
world
have
famous
you
if
two.
she just gets focused, you know, on her work and just
She's
keeps...
always telling me to get focused. This is my dance instructor,
What is the
Consuela.
relationship, the working relationship between you two?
I'm glad you asked about the working relationship because there have been rumors around that we're like, you know, the kind of people that don't let in the army. You know, like, don't laugh. It's not a funny thing to be.
Oh, it's just a joke, Consuela. Don't be so
well,
serious.
it's a rumor. It's a rumor.
We're
I
friends.
have,
We
like,
used
two
to
or
be
three
friends.
boyfriends, you know.
Okay, and what about the working relationship?
Well, look. Do you want to start or? Because she always says I go
Okay,
first.
I'll just
and
jump right in. I'll just jump right in. Okay. She's a little uptight. She's got a lot of stress in her
we got
life.
a couple of inexperienced guests in the studio tonight, guys.
Well, apparently I never jumped
Excuse
high
me.
enough for you,
We'll
huh?
have a long talk with our
All right.
producer after this, Paul.
Now, Consuelo,
Let's give him a chance.
Okay.
we're all talking at the same time, huh?
Well, I'll tell you
It's
what
a
I'm
talk
talking.
show.
Okay, that's a good point. Well, I'd just like to jump right in. Is that okay? And say that Consuelo used to be my dance instructor back when I had a band. And she's really wonderful. You should see her in action. I think that she's actually even taught Debbie Allen a few things. Haven't we?
I think
yeah.
we may see a
Paula
little bit of
Abdul
that
goes
later on.
on.
I think that we might
Paula
have a tape
Abdul. I'm sorry, what was
from
that?
a previous 60 Minutes episode showing you working together or something like that. I think,
Yeah, you better tell the tape so that people can know what I'm talking about with Amy.
right.
Promise you we're going to be nice.
I didn't bring the tape.
What's the nature of, how are things progressing with your sort of tandem careers? You're still working together, I see. You remain friends.
Well, we are friends, yes. We call each other once in a while, and when
Yeah,
Consuelo needs a babysitter for her 8 children, or she has to go out to the store,
First of all, there's
I
7
help her
children.
out.
She never knows. There's 7.
7. What about that one you just had?
Are you
Okay.
working on?
All right.
Are you working on something now?
Not anymore. We're not really partners as of last summer, and the reason is because
Not by my choosing.
not by your.
No.
She drove me to drink and drugs and cocaine. The list goes on and on and on.
There's nothing
Uppers,
wrong with
downers.
this.
Okay, we're going to be going to a tape
There's
to show
nothing
you
deny that it's
two
your
working
fault.
together.
Okay.
Apparently,
There's
there
nothing
was a
wrong with
time in your careers when you were working well together. I wanted to. There's a rumor, Miss
I
Lebec,
knew
that
this was going to happen.
I was
said, yeah.
wondering if
It's
before you
Oprah
go.
wanted us on, and I said no. Okay, that's how bad it is with us.
You should have said no to the drugs. Not to Oprah.
See, she can't. She just goes on and
Amy,
on
there's
like
a rumor
this.
that you do a
Money,
marvelous.
money, that's
There's
all
a
she
rumor
wants.
that you've been
That's all
working
she
on a
cares
Marilyn
about.
Monroe impression.
No.
Could you do that
no,
for
it's
us?
a false impression.
I wonder if
That
we could
was
just get a
Consuelo.
close up. I think the audience would love to see it. Can we get? would you
Come
do
on,
that
Amy.
for us?
Amy's really good. Tell her to do it.
Okay, this is it. You ready? Hi. That's it. I'm telling you, that's
I have to
behind
say,
me
that
now.
was wonderful. I think we're going to go to a tape now and see
I've never
the
been
both
so
of you
wrong
in
my whole
action.
life.
Oh, I'm gonna die.
No. You always control this, control that. You cannot do it right. You gotta do it.
All right. Oh, God, you're gonna ruin my best dress.
That's your best dress.
Oh, shut up. Just teach me the stuff.
Now look, Amy. It's your opening night. There's people out there that can make you a big star, okay? Now I'm trying to teach you something good, so you better listen.
All right. I'm paying you. You don't have to talk to me like that.
You haven't paid me in 2 months.
All right, Consuelo.
I'll forget it.
Just try it again.
Ready?
Ready.
And 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 and 8.
That's very nice. I like the way you
That
do
is
that.
very nice. Thank you.
Yeah. Okay. Well,
Well, come on,
could
do
you
it.
do it a little slower?
You
Forget it.
worked
I
for
just
2
don't think
months.
I'm cut out for this. I
Well,
don't even know what
to say you're cut out for it, but I'm trying to do it for 2 months, Amy. The same step.
All right. Let's try it again.
25 minutes. 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3 and 4 and 6, 7 and 8.
I think I got it. Yeah, I think I got it that time.
Well, let's see you do it. Wait a minute, count it down. 5, 6, 8. 1 and 2, 3 and 4 and 8. Amy.
That was it.
No, eso no me hace nada. Y eso no me hace mi amor. Yo estoy aquí
Spanish. Could you just say
I
something
hate it
in
when you
English,
can't get the
please?
sticks.
Yeah. I give up. All right, I quit. I'm gonna go have a cigarette.
You're gonna go have a cigarette?
Well, it's watching that tape. It's hard to believe that your careers didn't just skyrocket.
Yeah,
I
first
mean,
of all.
it's hard to see what went
doing
wrong.
very well. Consuelo's doing very well.
Thank you. I am doing very well. Paul Abdul, Marky Mark.
As I said,
Jackie Jack,
she's really
Freddie Fred,
something.
Everybody.
Freddie Fred.
That's a new
He's
star.
an
I'm
up
working
and
with
coming
new
young
stars.
star. Yeah. What is he? 11, 12?
That's when they start young. You gotta catch and milk. What happened to you?
You're right. I started at 4, and what happened
look
to
what
me?
happened.
I did want to say that I had a breakdown, and I promised myself I wouldn't
Amy,
cry.
let it out. I think this is a family show, and it might be cathartic and useful
I
for the youth
went
of
through
Somerville
something
to
that
hear a
many
little bit
people
about
go
this.
through in this business. And I did get myself together through the help of a therapist that was very good to me. And basically, I'm sorry, do you have a tissue or?
I cannot believe this.
I'm sorry. Basically,
So you seem to be
what
doing very
happened
well.
was this. I learned to cook. And it was like nothing else. It was like you chop and you're doing something and then you put them in the bowl and you're doing something and you're always creating something but no one's looking at you while you're doing it. And you can just give it to them or you can throw it away. I'll do it. And
you know, I think you should live in that cornucopia thing. That thing in Somerville, because she should go
this is what
somewhere.
drove me to it. This kind
to
of
a
thing.
bowl.
Constant haranguing.
That's a nice suggestion,
Haranguing.
Consuelo. I think we're working together again.
What is
here. I
haranguing,
think this-
first of all?
I think we're moving
Look it up in the
toward
dictionary, okay?
something good
I think
in your
I'm not gonna even
lives.
say anything.
Paul, do you have any questions for our guest?
Yeah, on that clip, was it you or Amy that was on drugs during that? Because I know you drove her to the drugs, but
bother Consuelo. I was the one that admitted having a problem. Consuelo
Well, did you
was
see what she
trying
wore
to
to
get
a
her life
dance
together.
class? A dress, a long black dress, like somebody died or
This
something?
kind of thing, just over and over again. Would you take it? Could you take that? I'm
Yeah,
sorry.
I-
I'm sorry.
things aren't going so well
I do
tonight,
not
Maria.
Hard to believe it. There's been
Can
a
we
lot
get-
of emotions displayed on
Amy,
the show, Paul.
can we get your therapist's
We really
number?
hadn't-
You know, she
No.
really shouldn't be a cook either, because emotional cooks, please, they can cut their finger, AIDS, you know.
I think that
You know, you don't
we
know
really didn't
anything
expect
about
this
No.
kind of emotion to be
You don't know
triggered by the
anything.
medium
Jump
at
the
all,
gun.
Paul. I don't know.
I don't even know. It's
There
supposed
must
to be
be
an
some way we can get
entertainment.
the show back on track and do what we rehearsed, what we planned.
Yeah.
I don't have any ideas. Maybe we
Oh,
can get
you're
another
funny.
question from the audience.
Well,
Maybe
Is Miss
anybody?
Lebeck's therapist in the house?
No, please, let's not make a mockery of this.
Okay.
Okay, could we have a safe space here, please?
Okay.
Just a safe
Everybody
space.
hold hands or
What
something.
I would
Comfortable.
like to do, well, that's overdoing it a little bit, but what I would like to do is cook for you. If I could I do that? Could I cook a little for you?
That is what we planned, and that's
Lucia,
kind of what I've been
our
waiting
graceful
Okay.
producer in training, Lucia, has handed me a question. And, well, I don't think that really we want to see this one, Paul. Maybe just touch that, and we'll just ignore that for now. Anyways, Paul, did you have a question for the guests, maybe?
for. Yeah, well, the question from the audience.
Paul, I don't think that that's necessary.
It's kind of relevant. Why isn't Paul the hoist of the show?
Because he's
that's
like
that's
Arsenio Hall.
that's what I've
I
been
want to know
wondering
who
too.
asked that question. I want to know who. I'm the only
I don't
hoist
know.
around here.
I
They
would
tried
never
to get
ask something
Conan
like that.
O'Brien
I'm
to
very
do this
sensitive
show,
to
you know.
people's feelings.
Said
Look,
he wasn't up for it.
do you feel misunderstood, Barry? Do you feel misunderstood right now? I can feel it. I can feel your pain. I can. Don't cry.
You're causing my
It's
pain, all
okay.
right? I just want you to know, you
I just
and the
want to
audience
cook a
too.
little something for you.
Let
if
her
that-
cook, for God's
Okay,
sake.
I
She's going
think
to be bugging the
I
whole
think it's time to go to
place.
another tape or something.
We're going to
There must be some kind of tape or
Thank
something.
you.
Let's
Thank
get out
you
of this
very
whole
much.
therapy
I don't even know why I'm
session.
here.
One big therapy session, this show.
I cannot quicken
happened to accidentally come on this channel at this time, this is the Barry Mackerel Show. I'm Barry Mackerel. This is my cohort, Paul Leonard, and these are our feuding guests, Consuela and Amy LeBeck. Amy,
Hi.
sort of an unexpected treat here. Looks like
This
it has
is my new
befallen
career.
us.
Yes.
Okay.
What were you doing with that? Looking to see if there's a bug fell into it. All right, here's my assistant. Okay, thank you very much. Now,
Watch the hair. Hi, these people don't know how
I'd like
even
to
do this
show
to
you
each
my
other.
new techniques of cooking, okay? First, I have the first ingredient. Let me get rid of the garbage.
Which is something we've seen earlier tonight.
I know, but those guys don't really understand the true blending of ingredients.
Okay, now we are starting
So
with white bread.
Diversity is the key.
Wonder bread, and you take off the crust. Okay, now this is a very therapeutic part of cooking also, because you can just peel things away layer after layer, kind of just getting it off. And then you take...
Cut and bakes.
You take...
There's
thank
plenty
you,
of white bread
thank
up here if you guys want to come up.
What are you
and-
doing with that, Consuelo?
I'm getting ready for you. I took the crust off.
Okay, thank you very much. You take it and you take it in your hands and you squeeze it as though you were just molding a nice pastry. And you get it into a shape.
Is that what the tortillas too?
Of flour. I'm not up to that yet. I'm just at
asking.
12. We're doing regression cooking.
And that creates kind of a nice little lilac pattern there.
Exactly, okay? And here we have the finished product. If you want to get a close-up on it, okay, these are called Wonder Balls, by the way. They were just recently invented.
Yeah, I wonder what they are.
You take... She's so funny, that's why she's famous now.
Wonder balls. Get it? Don't you wonder what they are? Come on, be honest. I don't get it. They were on TV.
They're Wonder Bread balls.
I wonder.
What if you don't use Wonder bread? What if you use other kind of bread? You have to name it that kind of bread?
Okay, Consuelo, enough! So
see, I'm asking a simple question.
You don't ask a question, and your youngest child is not free, okay? Okay? Could we look it up, please?
Well,
Can
I
we
ain't
get
selling.
a dictionary?
Amy, before we get too far along with this,
Yes,
looks
Barry.
like you have something over there.
What if you
might
had wheat
want to-
balls?
I'm going to show that in just a moment. So you take a little more of the
I think she
crust
stole that
off
bread from the wheat
there.
bread band gang that was here.
I don't understand what she's saying half the time sometimes, do you? Is there a translator in the
from the
house?
rock and roll. She's going deaf from the rock and roll.
What?
It's too much for her. You have to feel sorry.
Okay, we take
Actually, I think I've found
Oh,
the source of the
Amy,
problem.
3. Oh, that happens all the
white bread
time.
in her
Okay, okay, we take the bread, and now I've got
I
a
noticed that
nature
the audience
burger.
is beginning to file out. I think they counted the Wonder
That's
Balls.
okay. They probably like McDonald's or something.
I love
And this
McDonald's.
is for health food freaks.
Paula Abdul did a bunch of McDonald's commercials. Never
What's
came
it
out.
called?
That's what she didn't call me though.
Soup.
That's a lie, and you know it. I talked to Paula just the other day, and
That's
she said
a lie,
she would
you know
never
it.
work with you again if you paid her $1 million. That's
Well,
what she said to me, word for word.
No.
Okay, so you take
That's not
Nature
true.
Burger mix, okay, like you can get in any health food store, and you put it in the little holes.
You don't have health food. in
Right
Jamaica,
there. They have it if you look for it, Consuelo. You're always saying that you have some excuse that it's,
Look, I shop at
that
the
it's
mini
not
marts.
your fault. Okay, then you put it in there like that. And what I did with these beauties, which are, I'm really proud of them, they came out absolutely perfect.
Wonder balls.
Yeah. Look what she's doing. I just want everyone to put the cat on her right now. Look what she is doing. She is eating
The whipped
my
cream.
therapy. She is eating my therapy right now. Okay.
Yeah,
So
I
you
think
put-
maybe we should go to the book
can't.
before we
You put-
run out of time.
Can I just finish my show? My cooking demo here. All right.
This is the treatment over.
You put them in the oven for just on 350, just for about 20 or 25 minutes, okay?
You should put some
And
hot
then
sauce in
when you
there.
take it out.
Salsa works for
If
everything.
it was up to you, salsa would go on everything.
That's true.
including
That's the spice of
eggs,
life.
Okay? And you take this sauce. Now, I'd like to explain to you what the sauce is made
put
out of.
mayonnaise on everything,
Okay?
too?
It's mayonnaise.
That's why I
right.
said
You
mayonnaise.
were very right. She's very smart. I wouldn't deny that.
I said it.
And Hershey's chocolate syrup and cottage cheese and vegetable bouillon
Quita la cabeza pero por otro lado.
cubes. And could you please speak English?
Para la gente que sepa español, esta niña está pero loquísima, ¿me entiende? And there are no subtitles. Pero les digo a ustedes que esta niña es lo peor. Óyela.
Right.
Now, lo peor. Porque yo no trabajo con ella.
I'd just like to plug my book, okay?
Ya,
It's called,
ya yo no.
Book in here, and I want to bring up some people to try this
it's
out.
called
If-
Chew Your Cud, okay?
I think
and
if we get Chad and Bink up here to try this, we'll
¿Quién
know
sabe qué es cud?
if the recipe really works. Chad,
it's my
Thank
new
you.
book.
No, excuse me.
If you're interested.
I don't want those two people up here.
Kusha, Kia.
Just calm down.
Kusha.
Then you put the Cool Whip right on top there. Unless you're on a diet, in which case you just use raisins, and I forgot my raisins, so I'll just have
That
to
looks
transfer
great.
these.
That looks absolutely fantastic.
Raisins are good carbohydrates.
I think it would be good,
Barry,
like,
this is for you. And you
Barry,
please
do you know
eat
that
it.
woman
it would
over
mean
there?
So much to me.
Barry,
Have a bite.
If it's
Go
gonna
on.
be
It's time to
terrible
say
for
goodnight.
you,
It
I
looks
think I
delicious,
should.
but I think it's
this is all for the show. This has been the Barry Mackerel Show. I'm Barry Mackerel.
Is he gonna eat it?
Thank you for joining us today, and thank you for being a wonderful audience. And one of you is going to eat this because I'm not.
Barry, I made it for you.